Welcome to the deep dive. I'm really glad we're digging into this today. We're looking at something lots of us are curious about, supplements that promise, well, pretty huge health benefits. And you sent over a fascinating source. It's a YouTube review from Scam Finder, looking really closely at a product called Gluco Advanced Blood Sugar Support
Hmm.
and the claims the supplement makes. Wow. I mean, the list is just incredible. It says it'll balance blood sugar, boost your energy, help with weight loss, improve insulin sensitivity, support heart health, reduce cravings, burn fat, lower blood pressure, regulate cholesterol, improve digestion, boost immunity, sharpen your focus. I mean, honestly, the list just keeps going. It sounds like everything you could possibly want.
It really does sound amazing, doesn't it? Maybe, a little too amazing. And that's the core question the source digs into, which is why looking at this is so smart. Does this product actually deliver on all these huge promises, or is it mostly just hype? Lots of people are asking that. You're right to want to look deeper.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's really get into what the Scam Finder video found about these claims. Look past that initial sort of shiny appeal. First up, let's talk about those official sounding claims on the Gluco Advanced website. It states pretty clearly that it's FDA approved and GMP certified. Now, those sound really impressive, right? Like seals of approval.
They definitely sound impressive. And that's precisely the point. Companies use them because they carry weight in consumers' minds. But here's the catch, especially with supplements. FDA approved. Well, that's the gold standard for drugs, where the FDA rigorously tests safety and effectiveness. But for supplements, it's different. Often it just means the facility where it's made is registered with the FDA, or maybe that the ingredients are generally seen as safe. It doesn't usually mean the FDA has vetted the actual finished supplement for its health claims. It's a subtle difference, but a really important one, easy to misunderstand. And GMP certified. That stands for Good Manufacturing Practices. It's important. Yeah, it means they follow certain quality standards in making the product. Consistency, controlling the process. But again, it's about the manufacturing, not proof that the supplement actually works for those health claims or is even completely safe for everyone. So even if they had proof of these certifications, the implication could still be a bit misleading. But what ScamFinder pointed out, and this makes it even more concerning, is that the company doesn't actually show any proof. No documents, no certificates, nothing you can check yourself. And without that, well, these claims start to feel more like clever marketing buzzwords,
Yeah.
designed to make you feel safe without real transparency. Makes you ask, why claim it if you won't show it?
Okay, that distinction is really key. Facility registered versus product approved totally changes how you see those labels. Now, beyond those legitimacy claims, the source also looked at how they market this stuff. And that's where things get, well, pretty full on. The video highlights all these flashy discounts, things like save $780 today plus free shipping. Big headlines too, like the #1 formula for blood sugar support. It really jumps out at you, feels very urgent.
It does, and this isn't accidental. It's pure sales psychology. These huge time-limited discounts. They tap into our fear of missing out, scarcity, and urgency. The idea is to get you to act fast, maybe bypass some of that careful thinking, just, click buy, and calling itself the #1 formula. That plays on our tendency to trust authority, right? It implies it's the best without actually showing any proof or comparison. What's really insightful here is understanding how they use these mental shortcuts against us. When you see a limited time offer or a best-in-class claim, your brain can switch from careful analysis to just reacting. Makes us vulnerable, even if later we think, oh, maybe that was a bit much. When a company pushes that hard with these massive discounts and urgent language, it's often a red flag. It suggests they might not want you to look too closely at the product itself. They want that quick decision. You have to ask yourself, if the product was really that good on its own, would they need all that pressure?
That's a really good point about tapping into those biases. You don't always realize how deliberate those marketing tactics are. And that brings us back to the actual health claims themselves, the really broad ones we listed earlier. I mean, just to recap some: balancing blood sugar, lowering blood pressure, cholesterol regulation, better digestion, liver protection, brain boost, fat burning, immunity. It honestly sounds like a cure-all in a bottle. How does that even square with, basic biology?
Well, fundamentally, it doesn't really align. And this is where, just basic critical thinking is so important. The source makes a great common sense point. One single supplement just can't tackle that huge range of complex body systems all at once. It's just not how our bodies work. Think about it. Regulating blood sugar alone involves hormones, insulin, complex metabolic pathways. Lowering blood pressure involves the kidneys, blood vessels, electrolytes. Improving digestion involves gut bacteria, enzymes, absorption. These are all really intricate, separate systems. So the idea that one pill can effectively target all of these different complex processes at the same time is highly improbable. It feels much more like a marketing strategy, right? Cast a super wide net, appeal to anyone with any health concern on that list, offer a simple answer to complicated problems. When claims get that broad, that sweeping, it's a pretty strong sign that they're likely exaggerated and probably lack specific, solid evidence. They're selling an idea, a feeling of total wellness, not necessarily a targeted, proven intervention.
Yeah, thinking about the actual complexity really highlights how unlikely those cure-all claims are, which then makes you ask, okay, if the claims are that big, how do they try to back them up? Especially with things like customer reviews. Because the Scam Finder video looked at those too, and the reviews shown on the Gluco Advance website, they look fantastic. Glowing praise, some even have before and after photos. They really paint a picture of success.
They do, but this is where things get, well, quite concerning, according to the source. They did something clever. They took some of those before and after photos and ran a reverse image search. And guess what?
Oh no, let me guess.
Exactly. Some of those same photos showed up on other websites, often promoting completely different products or just as generic stock photos.
Wow, okay, that's
Right.
not good.
Not good at all. It completely undermines their authenticity, doesn't it? These likely aren't real photos from actual Gluco Advance users. They seem to be reused images. And if they're using potentially fake photos, it makes you question the authenticity of all the written reviews on their site, too. It feels like a carefully managed story, not real feedback. Plus, the source noted something else important. Outside of their own website, it's really hard to find independent, verifiable reviews. You don't see much chatter on third-party review sites or forums where people genuinely share experiences. That lack of external validation is another big warning sign. It suggests the positive image is mostly self-created, not based on widespread user satisfaction. It just erodes trust, really.
That is a huge red flag. Seeing proof that those photos are repurposed elsewhere it really changes the whole picture. So putting all these pieces together now, the certification claims, the sales tactics, the cure-all promises, the questionable reviews, what's the overall takeaway here about Gluco Advance?
Well, when you stack it all up, everything Scam Finder uncovered, a pretty clear pattern emerges, doesn't it? You've got these official-sounding claims like FDA approved and GMP certified, but with zero proof offered. You've got really aggressive, high-pressure sales tactics pushing for quick buys. You have these incredibly broad health claims that just don't seem biologically plausible for a single supplement. And then you have customer reviews, including photos, that appear to be questionable, maybe even fake. It really paints a picture, as the source suggests, of a product that seems to be running mostly on hype and marketing, not on solid proof or transparency. Each one is a warning sign, and together they raise more red flags than feelings of trust. It feels like a product built on, well, shaky ground, not solid science.
That's a really clear summary. This whole deep dive into Gluco Advance just hammers home how important it is to be skeptical, to really evaluate critically, especially with health supplements making huge promises. It's so tempting to want that easy fix, that magic bullet, but taking that step back, asking questions, looking for real proof, it's just essential for your own health and wallet.
Absolutely. And the source offers really sound, practical advice here. If you are genuinely concerned about managing your blood sugar, or any serious health issue for that matter, the safest thing you can do is talk to a doctor or a qualified healthcare professional. Relying on supplements with bold claims but little backup instead of getting proper medical advice, that could mean delaying treatments that actually work, treatments tailored for you. Real knowledge helps most when you understand it and use it wisely for your own situation, guided by professionals you trust. It's about making choices based on evidence, not just on appealing promises.
That's really important advice. So, as we finish up today, here's something maybe to think about. We've seen how Gluco Advance seems to use certain tactics. Big claims, maybe fake reviews, pressure sales. This stuff isn't just in the health world, is it? So, how do you sift through marketing claims in general, whether it's supplements or tech or anything else where the promises sound maybe a bit too good to be true? In this world full of information, how do you personally separate the real deal from the hype? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.